hello, and welcome.
Mhm.
How's everyone doing tonight? I hope you're doing okay. So, we're back again. Phil, how are you doing?
Fairly okay. Yeah, outside is kind of cool.
Right, how's your day been?
Fairly okay. I got up late this morning and uh, I've been put some clothes to wash and working on putting in some comments in the reports. So I should be all done this weekend.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. What
Right,
about you?
it's been busy.
Yes, busy.
It's been really busy, but
Wow.
I'm here. I'm here
Good, good,
now.
good.
Hey, Steve McRae, manager first. There you go.
Again.
You've been slacking. You've been slacking this
Oh
last few
yeah.
days. So, but
Oh
there you
yeah.
go. Back at being first. Calasia. Hey, Calasia 789. Hello. Danisha. Hey.
Hi,
Danisha,
Denisha.
damn it, Steve. Nah,
Lisa.
Danisha, come on. Come on. When it comes to Steve McRae, you don't stand a chance. Just don't.
Yeah,
Just
don't worry.
let's reserve the spot for him. Okay? Beach. Hey,
Hi, B.
Beach. Hey.
Voila.
James Apperson. Oh, James, I will get back to you. I will get back to you. Right. We're gonna do something together, but I'll get back to you. Okay. Uh Shay, I got someone very important here. Shani for life.
Shani for life.
Way.
Yeah,
I love
hello.
Shani for life. I do. Yes. Shani for life. I've got you here. Um
Sorry.
Yes, good to see you. Right. Soren. Hey,
Soren
Soren.
is here.
Hey, good
Yeah,
to see you.
yeah.
Steve, what's Steve McRae manager saying? Yes, I'm here to reclaim my. Oh,
Oh, somebody was keeping it warm for you, right, Steve?
okay. As long as we're not having any banana talks tonight, Steve
Oh
McRae manager.
gosh. Oh
Okay, as long
gosh.
as no talks of bananas
Bananas.
will be
No.
good tonight. No, today. Although this is a carry on from yesterday's. What's that man's name yesterday? What's that man's name again, Phil? Remind me his name.
Comfort.
Ray Comfort, right?
But he's not in any comfort for anyone.
It's a banana comfort.
Yeah, banana. Not even banana comfort. Mm, Ray the
Uh,
banana.
Danish is asking, what about bananas?
Oh, she was not here. Oh, oh, God.
Danisha,
Oh, banana
we
man.
were
She
talking
says.
about yeah, the banana man. That one, yeah.
Yeah, she just said, "Oh, banana man," right? So she knows who we are talking about. Yeah.
Ah, Math Pig should come in for this conversation. Math Pig
Yeah.
was the very first person when I started live stream. He was the one who did my very first live stream.
Ooh.
He yeah he yeah, had no clue, didn't have anything, just didn't know
Mm.
the first thing about live streaming, and he helped. So Mathfeed, yes,
Oh.
I'll always have Mathfeed to thank for that.
Yeah.
I've been on Mathfeed streams before, and he's a good guy. Yes, he is. I like Mathfeed. I do. Ray Comfort is such an evil clown. Indeed, he is.
Oh
So,
yeah.
guys, this is a continuation from yesterday. Ray Comfort and his crew of people, they're coming to the UK. They're storming the UK to come and preach to the lost people
Uh,
of the UK, right? During the
mm,
coronation of King Charles.
well,
Now, as far as Ray Comfort and his crew are concerned, Ken Ham and the rest of them,
hmm,
King Charles is going to uphold the Protestant values, right? The
mhm,
Protestant values
mhm.
against the Catholic
Values.
values. So that's what the Christians over in that side of the world, they're coming to come and support. I don't know. Listen, I don't know what that's about, but it was interesting because how you coming to support him upholding the values, the Protestant values. But what about the Catholics?
What about, well, and not
So the
all Protestants
Catholics,
are the same.
so the Catholics are not Christians as far as these people are concerned. The Catholics, they consider themselves to be Christians. In fact, they are the original Christians.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to have a look at the problem in Northern Ireland.
And as some of the Protestant churches, some do not believe that the Anglican Episcopal are really true Christians.
Oh my
I can
goodness.
tell you that. I can tell you that for sure.
So who is the real Christian then?
They will say they follow the Bible, but the Anglicans are too liberal and too thing in there.
Okay, Phil, quick question. Quick question. I need to
Uh-huh.
I need to figure this out. What's that noise in the back? Is that the fan or is that the crickets? Which one is it?
But
It's crick,
that
crick,
might be the
crick.
crickets. That's the crickets. Sorry, let me
No,
close my
no, no.
window. Yeah,
Are
I
you,
got to
are you
close the
sure
window.
it's the
Yeah,
window or
outside
it's
is cool. Yeah, it's the crickets. This has happened before, but I don't hear
no, no?
them because
You
I'm
sure
accustomed.
it's not the fan?
It's not the fan. Trust me, it's the crickets. Crick, crick, crick. It's the crickets.
The
Replace
agnostic,
certain
the
things.
agnostic
Yeah, the
cricket.
agnostic crickets. Hold on.
Okay, this is a debate between myself and someone in the chat, and you know yourself. I swore it was his fan.
You shouldn't. You
Ah,
shouldn't be able to hear them now.
it was indeed the crickets.
Yeah, this has happened before. I forgot outside got dark, so now the crickets are out. The agnostic crickets are out.
Okay, Phil.
I leave the curtains pulled so they can watch the show.
Oh, we might just convert them. You just, well, I don't know.
Yeah, they become the atheist crickets, but they are on the sides.
Oh, Phil, please no.
Ah, ah. Oh
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
right. Let's start. So how's everyone doing this evening? Well, it's evening here. Late night, late evening,
Yeah,
late
late
night, late.
evening.
So how's everyone doing? Whatever time it is where you are. Let's see. Okay, gonna share. So guys, yesterday we had a quick look at
Yes.
the poll, not polls.
Mhm.
What's this thing called? The results of
Census.
the census.
Census.
Now, the census also highlights what's happening in Northern Ireland, right?
Mm.
And it turns out that Catholics now outnumber Protestants in
Mm.
Northern Ireland for the first time. It's a
Mm.
demographic shift, which shown in the census. It was expected, but we still deliver psychological blow to unionists, right? And of course, there's the huge cross. Yeah, well, it's not huge,
Mm.
but you know what I mean. Huge picture of a
Yeah,
cross.
critics.
So Catholics outnumber Protestants in Northern Ireland for the first time, a demographic milestone for a state that was designed a century ago to have a permanent Protestant majority. So this is it's a long battle between these two sects of Christianity, the Catholics and the Protestants, over in Northern Ireland, right? The
Yeah.
results from the 2021 census released on Thursday showed that 45.7% of the inhabitants are Catholic or from a Catholic background compared to 43.48 from Protestant or other Christian background. The 2011 census figures were 45% were Catholic and 48% Protestant. Neither bloc
Hmm.
is a majority. Okay.
Hmm.
So neither bloc is a majority. What does that mean?
Uh, and I'm wondering, you see that's 45, 48. So the others are of other religion or atheists or agnostics. I'm sorry, they
Hmm.
didn't put the remainder, how much the remainder.
We will have a look. It probably
Yeah,
is a graph. The demographic tilt was expected, but will
ethnicity.
still deliver a psychological hit to the unionists, who for decades relied on a supposedly impregnable Protestant majority to safeguard Northern Ireland's position in the UK. Um, so it says here that it's been long coming. They have already witnessed the loss of their political supremacy. Seeing the loss of their numerical supremacy is another blow. The higher birth rates among okay, all right. Higher
Oh,
birth rates among, because guys, the Catholics don't do
don't do contraception.
condoms, contraceptives.
Any contraceptions.
They don't do all of that. So could that explain? And also, this religion, what's it called? Islam. I mean, I've spoken to some Muslims, and they think that, ah, come 10 years time, there'll be so the Muslims, that the Muslim is a growing population,
Yeah.
that they consider themselves the fastest growing religion. But when you go and look at what exactly they're talking about, is the birth rate among them, right? A man that has four wives, of course, what's he busy doing? He's busy, with all the wives day in and day out. So, of course, the birth rate will be high. But my goodness. Anyway, since the higher birth rates among Catholics gradually closed the gap, a closely watched metric since they tended to identify as Irish, while Protestant tended to identify as British. Oh, so the Catholics identify as Irish and Protestants identify as British. It's interesting. Um, the the things that you discover, right, as you're doing these streams and engaging in these conversations. I've been in the UK for over 20 years, and this is not a subject that I really have been too keen on, unless when you hear it on the news when there's been problems going on between the two sects, because there's a wall that divides. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. uh Okay, we will go and let's see. Let's see. In the recent election, support for nationalist and unionist parties plateaued at around 40% for each side, leaving 20% of voters in the middle who are non aligned and reject traditional sectarian labels. The opinion polls consistently show more people favor staying in the UK, citing the taxes and the NHS, among other reasons, than uniting with Ireland. Okay, that's um the whole Brexit, and so we will not get into that conversation. That's not what this is about. This one's about religion, not so much the politics, but religion has permeated politics in Northern Ireland. It's eaten deep in politics. So, guys, and that's why this stream is titled Religion Poisons Everything. And everything we're going to be talking about today, this isn't anything that any of us have any control of whatsoever. This is nothing to do with any of us or anyone in these regions. This has been a long time in the making. And when I was watching the videos today, I was thinking, God, are these people not tired of this? Are you all not? Some of you inherited this war. You were born into this war, and you now have come along and carried it on. Guys, no. Okay, let's start. Let's. Religion is a cancer. I completely agree. And the more power it gets, the more it destroys people. Guys, let me tell you, you know what was interesting for me while I was looking at this? I was thinking, you realize we're not talking about two religions here. We're not talking about Christianity and Islam. We're not talking about Christianity and Hinduism. We're actually talking about it's Christianity. This is one religion with its different divisions, different. Guys, it's bad. Okay, let's go have a look. Just 1 second, guys. Just give me 1 second, okay? Let's get this video. Ian Davenport, hello.
On the surface, the history of Ireland seems like the tale of one island getting beat up for over 1,000 years straight. And, well, that's not incorrect, I'll be honest with you. But from another perspective, it's a story of a unique civilization rising from the intersection of two very different worlds, and then remarkably enduring through centuries of subjugation and hardship. When it's all too common to see entire cultures wiped from existence because of colonial oppression, Ireland is a very hard-fought counterexample. To see what makes Ireland's history so special and to learn how Irish cultures survived to the present day, let's do some history. This video is brought to you by Audible. More on that later. Our story begins with the migration of the Celts from Central Europe sometime in the 5th to 3rd-ish centuries BC. Okay, look, it's an ancient migration, all right? Dates are going to be finicky on this one. And they settled on this little island here, which they named Eire after the goddess Eru, which I maybe said right. I don't know. I'm just going to try and say as few Irish names as possible so I don't embarrass myself, which is where we get the name Ireland.
And don't ask me about Irish names. I butcher the Irish names. I love the Irish people. Oh, I've lived in Ireland myself. I absolutely loved it in Ireland. Lived there for not just a really short time. But I wish I had stopped in Ireland. But things happen. But I loved it. Absolutely loved it. In fact, I'm going to go on a very short break to Ireland. I need to go back to those places I used to. The place where I lived in when I lived over there. Beautiful place, beautiful people. It was the accent, the Irish accent. I love it. Absolutely love it.
And speaking of language, they spoke an early version of Irish, which is a subset of the Gaelic language family, which is a subset of the Celtic language family. Not confusing at all. Though Ireland didn't have a written literary tradition, the culture venerated storytelling bards, as well as druids, who are priest-like figures that doubled as historians, judges, and even doctors. Another popular profession in Ireland was, surprisingly enough, king, because there was no overarching central authority, so Ireland usually had somewhere around 150 local tuatha that each had their own king. And there were no cities at this point either, so people just clustered into groups on available farmland and got to it. Though Ireland wasn't politically unified, they shared many elements of art and religion, from Celtic knots to Cuchulainn. Irish mythology is rad, and you can see some examples here, but there are also all manner of gods, heroes, and some pretty bonkers magic too. Sadly, we don't have as much information on them as we might like because the Irish mythological cycle wasn't codified until centuries later, and parts of it have since been lost. Plus, the stories themselves sometimes conflict with one another on account of how regional these oral traditions were. Though we today only know so much about early Celtic Ireland, the picture gets clearer and the culture gets richer with Ireland's second big arrival, Christianity. Ireland actually got the good end of the deal on this one, because their conversion was peaceful and it didn't involve them getting invaded by Rome. Win-win, and quite the opposite in fact, as Irish pirates often found their way to the western coast of Rome and Britain. In one instance, a captured young Roman lived in Ireland for 6 years.
Okay, So Christianity in Ireland is fairly recent compared to what the other religions and other belief systems that they had. So Christianity hasn't been the religion of choice for the longest. This Christianity thing, the more I find out, I realize that Christianity is fairly new compared to other religions. Early on today, I was talking with a chap from India. Christianity is still a baby compared to other religions. So it's interesting how Christianity now has become the most populous religion in the entire world. It's interesting. And don't think for 1 second that it has been peaceful. That them converting people, taking over people's lands, invading people's lands. Don't think it's been peaceful. In fact, in this picture, you can see that one with his sword over there. It hasn't been all peaceful with Christianity. And I think one of these days we're going to come and do the invasions and the what's it called now? Yeah, is it the invasions? Yeah. The ugly past of Christianity. Because it has been ugly. Never mind, it's all reformed now. And Jesus loves you. And Jesus gave himself for you. Oh, never mind all of that. It hasn't been all good. So, but the Irish people, they're fortunate because they didn't have the violence that came along with the ugly Christianity of the past. They had it good, at least. Hey, Reverend Dr. Mark, good to see you. Says the traditions of each sect of Christianity is wanting to control the wealth and political power in Ireland. Economics is key. Thank you. That's very important. Yes, you saw swords in the picture. Yeah, exact. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's carry on with this, right?
Years before escaping back to Britain, and after some soul-searching, he trained in France to become a priest and set back out to Ireland in the hopes of converting the people to Christianity. Though he wasn't the first missionary to Ireland, this Saint Patrick, as you've probably guessed, was certainly the most consequential. The dates for his life and career are all over the place, and there's even a theory that Saint Patrick is actually an amalgamation of two different characters, but this show is history summarized, and I am super not qualified to settle very much ongoing debates in the academic historical community. But what we can say for certain is that he never drove the snakes out of Ireland, because Ireland never had snakes. That's just a very polite code word for pagans. And even that isn't fully accurate. Patrick, buddy, you're killing me here. Because Celtic culture didn't just go away. It's a classic example of syncretism, where the goal is to make two disparate cultures coexist rather than have one completely supplant the other. Latin was introduced, but it was spoken right alongside Irish Gaelic. Monasteries were built all around the islands, but they were regionally autonomous. Jesus was the new number one, but the old Irish mythology remained firmly in the popular conscience. Best of both worlds. And the timing of all this couldn't have been better, because while mainland Europe was splintering out into dozens of Gothic kingdoms in the wake of the Western Roman Empire's collapse, Ireland just got a jolt of new culture to play with and about 400 years of complete peace to refine it. The strongest literary tradition in Europe was made in Irish monasteries, often called scriptoria, where accounts of old Irish mythology were written alongside beautifully decorated manuscripts of the Bible. All around, Ireland was known as the Isle of Saints and Scholars, and it's because of their hard work that so much ancient Latin work survives today. Irish missionaries to Europe even laid the groundwork for Charlemagne's 9th century Renaissance in France. It's also during this golden age that we see and hear two core symbols of Irish culture, the Celtic cross and the harp. The cross appears in stone all over Ireland, and it's a perfect visual metaphor for how
Oh,
Celtic
yeah,
Irish
the
culture
cross.
is literally
Oh,
woven into Irish
interesting.
Christianity. Again, all this while the
Hmm.
rest of Europe was having some serious, let's call it growing pains. Although Ireland was decentralized in both government and religion, it enjoyed over 4 centuries of peace between the numerous Tuatha and no threat of invasion. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and all shiny things must get raided by Vikings. And speaking of Vikings, Though Ireland's didn't quite get hit as bad as the English and Scots one island over, Ireland saw its fair share of coastal looting and burning. Monasteries were an easy target because of their abundance of treasures like gemstone-covered manuscripts and their non-abundance of defensive fortifications. The Vikings did, however, contribute Ireland's first cities of Dublin, Cork, Waterford, and others settled along the island's coasts. And as the Vikings got comfortable in their cities and chilled out enough to stop with the damn raiding all the time, their cities became hubs for trade and production. Ultimately, though, Ireland's much bigger problem for the next 1,000 years would come from right across the channel. And oh golly gosh, would you look at the clock, it's time to complain about England. Woo! Sorry, professionalism. So while Ireland was having a good time minding its own business and not bothering anyone else, the Anglo-Normans came over to establish the Lordship of Ireland, which sounds a lot more, complete than it actually was. England held on to the urban population centers in the east, but because of stuff like wars and plague, it was pretty patchy for the next 5 centuries. But in 1509, Henry VIII became king and decided that he wanted to be a really big deal, so it's here that things start getting rough. See, Henry converted to Protestantism after he got tired of killing his wives and wanted to just divorce them instead.
Ha. Okay. Oh, Henry VIII. When I started going to the Church of England, someone said to me, "Oh, not the Church of the Prostitute." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he said to me, "Go and find out the origins of your church. Your church, Church of England, didn't start off how you think. That the man who started it all, he started it because he wanted to marry as many wives as he wanted." So I said, "Okay, so what has that got to do with me?" I'm like, "Okay, I started the church. It didn't mean anything at the time, right? But it's good to know these things. Apparently, this guy just wanted to marry all sorts of, different women. So he could only have them killed or start up his own church. And he was fed up of killing them and decided, I will start up my own. So he had converted from Catholicism. So the the picture says, "I came here to murder my wives and trash Catholicism, and I'm all out of wives." After he got tired of killing his wives, he wanted to just divorce them instead, which the Catholic Church didn't allow him to, right? So, what better way to do this than to go start up your own, right? Where you get to make the rules. Now, guys, if I make any mistakes here, because this is learning for me, if I say something which isn't quite accurate, please make sure to point it out. Make sure to say, "Oi, oi, oi! No, you made a mistake here." Because the one thing I wouldn't want to do is to put out information that isn't accurate. Okay, I'm learning. Okay, so please, if I say something which isn't quite accurate, and you know what the accurate bit of history is, please make sure you point it out. We're learning. Okay, let's see. What did Reverend? This was the start. It was the start, absolutely. Prostitute. That's what was my brother-in-law. He said it at the time. He said, "You're going to prostitute church." Like, what do you mean prostitute church? Ah, do they have a orphanage I can volunteer at? Unfortunately not. No, unfortunately. If you want a orphanage, you have to go start your own church. Steve McRae manager, go start it yourself. Because that's what a lot of people do. You want your own kind of church where you get to make the rules. Nobody, you have nobody dictating the pace. You just tell the people, God said this, and God told me to start my church. Just start your own church. That's it's fairly just easy. Just name it the orphanage for Christ. How about that? And when they ask you, okay, what kind of orphanages? We're trying to recruit whores for Christ. Works. After all, they're trying to reach the lost, right? The lost people. So, this particular church was violent and oppressive. So how has it evolved over the years? How have we? Anyway, you know what? That's not the subject. Let's carry on.
But Ireland remained firmly Catholic. This displeased Henry, so he made a new push to colonize Ireland, and England made steady progress in beating up on the Irish, taking more and more of their land, and busting down their monasteries and churches. Unsurprisingly, the Irish rebelled. Several times. In the decade after the union of the English and Scottish crowns in 1603, King James confiscated Irish land in the northern region of Ulster to make way for Scottish colonists to start private plantations. And this marks the start of a couple unfortunate defining trends for the next 3 centuries. First is the treatment of Ireland as a subservient colony and the steady seizure of Irish land, and also the persecution of Catholicism through strict social laws. In the 17th and 18th centuries, Irish farmers became tenants in their own island, and this process only accelerated with the advent of anti-royalist and Civil War extraordinaire Oliver Cromwell, who murdered his way across Ireland during his War of the Three Kingdoms. More land was confiscated, Catholic Irish were forcibly evicted and also banned from certain jobs, and for the next 300 years, Ireland was regarded as little more than a conquered colony. Although the anti-Catholic laws were largely repealed by the turn of the 19th century, Ireland was still poorer going into the 1800s than it had arguably ever been, as its production.
Wow, just wow. So they started off being Catholics. Then comes Henry. He has his own motives. And of course, these people were barbaric. These people didn't do sitting down and dialoguing. They didn't do all that. Nah, we don't dialogue. We just get our swords and get our artillery. Off we go. Take over. Kill anything in sight. Bible in one hand, knife in the other. Off we go. Now you take over these people's lands. And now they are subservient to you. Because you're the Protestants. And so is this where they get the sentiment? Okay, I've never understood why Christians think that Catholics aren't Christians. I'm trying to understand why. I've heard one say, oh, because the Catholics, it's their doctrines. They have a doctrine of works. I don't understand that. As far as I'm concerned, Catholics are Christians. Right? Guys, am I right or am I wrong? Catholics are Christians. Okay, guys in chat, everyone, please. 1, if you think Catholics are Christians. 2, if you say no, they're not. Okay? As far as I'm concerned, Catholics are Christians. So if you think Catholics are Christians, 1. If you think they are not Christians, then 2. Okay? I don't know what. I've never understood it. I've never understood it.
production and wealth were systematically siphoned off to Britain. Only the majority British pockets of the island in Dublin and Ulster saw much improvement, and it was these Ulster Irish who spoke for Ireland in the new United Kingdom's Parliament. If this all sounds short-sighted, exploitative, and extremely fragile, you'd be correct. But wait, it only gets worse. See, Ireland's agriculture was,
hang on.
well,
what's with the 3? 3 wasn't an option. Where's
Huh?
that come
Huh.
from?
You
Where
mean
is
agriculture?
3? I don't understand. All I asked, are Catholics Christians? 1, if they are. 2, if they're not. Now I get 3s.
Oh,
What's 3? What's option
what's the
3 now?
third?
That they're in between somewhere, or what? Which? Or Catholics are Muslims? Which ones? Catholics, Muslims.
Catholics we consider true Christians because they're the ones who were there at the very beginning.
They're the original Christians.
The original Christians. So
come
they're the
from
ones
nowhere.
who the same Protestants get their Apostle Creed and the
come from
Nicene
nowhere.
Creed from. They got their Bible from. They got the communion from. Oh my goodness.
No, but they just came from nowhere
No.
with the violence and all, and with their rampant king who wants to sleep with any and everything. And somehow we dominate, and because we're the dominant sect of the Jesus religion, so you all now, you're not Christians. We're the real, you know what? I don't know. They're the OG Christians. Yes. 3 means there's an angry Protestant next to them. Right. Okay.
Right.
All these are the same to me. You just put them all in one box. Just pack them all. Plus Hindus, Sikhs, Catholics, Mormons, just put them all together.
No,
Believers in a God. And no, I'm reading a comment, Phil.
Yeah, no, that you say that, right? It brings to mind something that happened today.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh,
online. We're a Muslim, right? Told me about God grant me good health, blah blah blah. So I can't let that go. So I asked how do you know that Allah is real or Allah's? What he told me? Guess what he told me? Guess what I was told?
Phil, you've been guessing in these conversations. What did you say? I'm not going to guess because I don't know.
No. Guess what he said when I asked that? The usual that you would think Christians will give the same answer.
My book says so.
Look at the trees is in the chat.
Oh, look at the trees. Therefore, God.
Look at everything made. Therefore, God.
Oh, okay. Right,
so I pointed out Allah, the Hindus, the Christians, a lot other religious sects will say it is their God. So that's not the best method to say. And they will say their God. Look at the trees. So he said that's not a good method to determine that your God is real or any God or goddesses. So that just came to mind when things said when Ficknell said all atheists are the same thing.
I want to say something really bad, but I don't know. I'm going to zip it. I'm going to create my own God. Yes, the God of the holy prick or something. Yes. The holy prick. That's my own God. How about that? The holy prick created everything. Created all the pricks and created all the He's the holy prick, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Since all of us are claiming different gods, I mean, I'm actually
of
You wait in 2,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be worshipped. You see, my face will be somewhere. Oh, all hail the starter of our religion,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the God of the Holy Prick.
Hmm.
I tell you,
Murder.
people.
Hmm.
Hey,
Dangerously
Auntie Rita,
precarious. Most of
hey.
their food production was beef exports to Britain, and that didn't leave a whole lot of available farmland on Ireland for feeding the Irish. So the tenant farmers turned to potatoes, which had by far the most nutritional value for the space they took to grow. Not super great that the systematic exploitation of their land forced Catholic Irish to subsist entirely on a single food staple for generations, but at least they're not starving. So anyway, in 1846, the potato blight hit Ireland and all of the crops failed, so people started starving. Cool. The thing is, potato crops were going rotten all across America and Europe. Ireland was just the only place where potatoes were the only option. But with the crisis at hand, Parliament acted swiftly to provide rations and relief to... No, I'm just kidding. Parliamentarians in London insisted that the reports of famine were completely overblown and refused to divert resources for aid. Help did slowly arrive, but it was predicated on putting Ireland through economic reforms to modernize their infrastructure. Yeah, because that's exactly what Ireland was asking for. Not food. God, no. Laissez-faire mercantilism. Way to read the room, guys. Eventually, the blight passed and things slowly returned to normal, but not before 1 in 7 people died of starvation and 1 in 4 fled to places like America. This would be why New York and Boston have big Irish communities that materialize out of nowhere in the late...
All right. Oh, I get it now. That's why there's a huge Irish community over in New York. Oh, and Boston. Okay. Right, I mean, out of nowhere in the late 1840s. It's interesting when you go back.
I think they immigrated.
Figuring these things out.
They immigrated and went to New York. Yeah.
Beach says, "Don't forget to create God in my own image. I would create a God that okay, no. Sometimes my brain wants to run wild, but no, I keep it in check. I would, if I was to create my own ideal God that looks like me, of course it'd be short, because I'm short. I'm only 5'4". Yeah, it'd be a bit plump. You know what I mean? Give it a bit of a bit of meat going on, right? Make sure it's top heavy and bottom heavy. Just there you go. Make sure the God is a talkative, right? A nice talkative. What else? What other features about myself? What else? Anyway, I can't think of anything else.
Intelligent.
Intelligent. I'm not sure about that one.
Yes,
Sure, I'm intelligent. I'm not sure about that one.
Don't put down yourself. You are more
I'm
intelligent
myself. I'm not sure about that.
You are more intelligent than the gods that these people purport. So
you're saying I'm more intelligent than Yahweh.
Yeah.
Oh, that I can. Yes, I'll take that.
And
I'll take that.
more intelligent than Allah. So
I'll take that. I mean, gods that create hell. One God, he sacrificed himself to himself to please himself.
To please himself, yeah.
That's
we can do better than that,
Then the other God picks out himself a prophet, and is watching the prophet violate a 6-year-old. Does nothing, right? It's just that's just because he's my special messenger, so he's allowed to violate little children. So,
but don't forget, Yahweh violated the 12-year-old.
I think that's one thing they have in common.
In common, yeah.
Violators, both of them.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So they didn't have a problem with that. You see?
Oh, Beach says lots of fancy hats. Yes, how did I forget?
Mm.
Fancy hats. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
the 1840s. The more
Phil, do you want
Mm-hmm.
to turn your thingy off when you're eating, yeah?
Sorry,
So that
yeah.
we're not hearing all your. You're gonna make us hungry now. Everyone now is gonna feel that they're gonna be hungry because Phil's eating.
you know. And real quick before we move on to the 1900s, it's not a coincidence that the areas least affected by the famine were the Protestant parts. And if that wasn't bad enough, Britain was also busy shutting down the last remaining hedge schools that taught Greek and Latin to Catholic kids. Before this,
Wow.
Ireland's Catholicism had produced the longest continuous tradition of Greek and Latin anywhere on earth. But God forbid kids who aren't Anglican be allowed to learn.
So wait, you're telling me that once upon a time, if you weren't Anglican, your kids aren't allowed to learn? So it says, all right, pack it up, lads. The only language you'll be needing is the Queen's English. Guys, sorry. There's a lot of ugly in the past. There's a lot of things you learn and you think, wow. So when people are busy fawning over the monarchy, oh, the Queen, oh, don't they know about the past? Don't they know about the history of Great Britain? Don't they know? I'm not saying hate. That's not what I'm saying. But how would you go and worship? Oh, the Queen worship Charles and worship all their wealth, whatever wealth they've gotten, was from all of this slave trade, from all this invasion, from all. It's most of the wealth that they have is from their ugly past. I'm sorry, I can't worship. I can't. I struggle. I struggle.
Gross. So, what to do from here? Well, if you're the population of Ireland in the early 1900s, the answer was literally anything else, and that echoed in a call for home rule and their own independent government. However, Ulster was still fiercely unionist, and it almost looked like pro-union and pro-home rule paramilitary groups were going to start fighting about it when World War I suddenly became a much more pressing issue. But on Easter of 1916, Irish insurgents occupied government buildings in Dublin, so the British Army shelled them into surrender and then executed the rebel leaders. This, you may guess, did not sit super great with the Irish public, so as soon as the World War was over, Ireland fought a guerrilla war of independence, and in 1922 it was granted home rule as their own free state under the British Crown. And in the late 30s and 40s,
Okay, Steve McRae manager, he didn't violate a 6-year-old. He just married. He married a 6-year-old and waited until she was 9 before he violated her. See, that's not bad. Right, right.
No,
right.
he's being sarcastic. Yeah.
I know he's being sarcastic, but
Yeah.
reading
But
that
it's still.
comment.
Mm-hmm. It just shows you how the reasoning, how sick the reasoning of the ones who make excuse for Mohammed.
It's sickening, eh? When you
It's
think
sickening.
about it.
Oh, she wasn't
Where
6. He married her at 6,
do
but
you
he ain't violated her until she 9. Really?
where do
know?
you begin? For listen. This is my own idea here. If you can look at a 6-year-old and think, I want to marry her, trust me, he has thought
Mm-hmm.
his mind has thought sexual things. It's
Who
gone
knows?
through
He
his
probably
mind.
did.
No, he probably did.
Too.
But what I'm saying is, okay, let's give the benefit of the doubt.
No. Okay, yeah.
You don't marry somebody who you're not thinking you want to have sex with,
Sex with, right.
or be in a in that kind of relationship with. So you take a 6-year-old to marry her, and
Because
for 3 years, I bet for those 3 years, all he could think of was wait till I get that
I
small
get too
girl
small. Yeah.
on my little piece of meat.
Mm-mm.
I'll show her what to do. I will,
Mm-hmm.
it's sickening.
Really sick.
Where do you begin teaching a 9-year-old what to do? I've actually heard some Muslims say, oh, she would have been coached by the women. What?
What?
Because I asked the question, where do you begin teaching a 9-year-old what to do with a man's uh, private part? What is a 9-year-old supposed to do with that? And the answer I got was she would have been coached by the women. She would have been okay. So I'm just thinking about these women now, sitting this 9-year-old, and they're saying, "You see that thing here? Take the thing." You know what? I give up. No, I'm not even going
You
to
don't
try. I'm not going to
to
even
figure
try
that out.
and put myself in a place to even think about the thought process, because only an animal. Sorry. Apologies to animals.
Mm-hmm. You must say apologies to beasts.
Apologies to animals, because that's okay.
Ireland transitioned into a fully independent republic. Ulster, however, opted to stay in the UK and became known as Northern Ireland. The split between North and South came to a head in the latter part of the century, as Northern Irish Catholics still faced heavy discrimination, and their peaceful protests met violent opposition. And this erupted into the Troubles, 3 decades of insurgency,
Irish trouble.
terrorism, and police brutality in Northern Ireland, as IRA irregulars fought against Ulster volunteer forces and British police to end British rule in Northern Ireland. After some 3,500 casualties, most of them civilian, the Good Friday Agreement of 1998 mandated that Northern Ireland could
I
vote to
remember
unify
that.
with the Republic at any time they liked, and
Tony
that there
Blair.
would never again be a hard border on the island between North
Wonder
and
where-
South. Whoa.
I wonder what's happened to Tony Blair. Does anyone hear about Tony Blair anymore?
Yeah.
I liked
Mm-mm.
Tony Blair. I actually liked Tony Blair.
Yeah, I've not
Not
heard.
for his
Yeah.
politics. Not for his politics. I had no clue what he was all about. But when I just looked at him on the TV and think, oh, he looks nice. That's all. Not because I knew anything about his politics. Absolutely nothing. I just liked the look of the man. He just looked like a kind, nice man. That's all. That Tony Blair.
Dear God, not again. Whew, criminy. Even when Irish history lets up, it doesn't let up. Meanwhile, the Republic of Ireland enacted a series of economic and political reforms to lift the country out of hundreds of years of poverty. And today, the people of Ireland are safer, richer, better fed, and freer to express their religion than they've been in centuries. It's distressing to see Ireland so cruelly oppressed for so long, but it's inspiring to see the past century's reclamation of Irish culture and their long-deserved independence. In Ireland, history is never far away. The legacy of their centuries-long golden age is everywhere from the Celtic cross to the Irish language, and the painful memory of the Great Famine has motivated Ireland to become a world's leader in international food aid, and I will gladly raise a pint to that. In ancient Ireland, monks had to copy entire manuscripts by hand, but now it's never been easier to get instant access to a world of literature thanks to today's sponsor,
Okay.
Audible. With enough audiobooks to
Alright,
fill a
thank you. Okay, that was a nice little history, giving
Yeah.
you, just the basics. But now what we're going to do is to have a look at the religious history. Not long videos, just really short clips. Because today we're not going to be here for 3 hours. We're not doing it. God. Trust me, you guys don't want to see my face. This face 3 hours every day. You don't need it in your life. No. You do not need his face. Well, Phil, you guys can watch Phil for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. But this one,
Every
you guys don't
day.
need it. You don't need it. No.
wrinkly face.
Okay, let's have a quick look at this.
This is one island. This is another island. This is how they are politically divided. See where things might have
Wow.
gone wrong?
That's one island. That's another island. Do you see what I see? You see it or no? Or you don't see it? Phil, do you see it?
I don't know. From a geological point of view, that seemed to be an island that was part of in between there, the sea connection.
Hey, Bodro, hello.
But yeah,
Do you see
how
what
did
I
Britain?
see?
How Britain got their hand in Northern Ireland? Did you say?
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand if you don't understand yet. Basically, the root of this conflict lies at territory. Great Britain politically owns Northern Ireland, but the Irish Catholic are not, by any means, in favor of this. It is important to denote the religions of these two groups, which plays a major role in this conflict. Most of the British are Protestant, while most of the Irish are Catholic. Northern Ireland has many Catholics and Protestants.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, let me take that back. Quick. Okay. So this right now is the intermingling of
Mm-hmm.
politics and religion. Right?
Yeah.
This is where
Mm-hmm.
those two things now become merged into 100, whatever, right? So you have this bit here, they're Protestant, and this bit here, they're Catholic. Now you have this small region, Northern Ireland, that is a mixture of Catholics and Protestants, right? And that's where problems start to arise. These problems have gone on for a long time. For a country that is no longer as religious as it used to be, for me, it's crazy that it's still a problem to this present. With the problem going on in Northern Ireland, this place here,
Yeah.
it's such a it just takes the very smallest thing can get this fighting started. Just all it takes is just one person to talk, one person from this side of the border to say something to the person on the other side, the Catholic side, and just say something that one doesn't like, and that's it. The problem starts again.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, and this is where I didn't understand this. Most of, in fact, all of these people here that are in this region here, they inherited this problem. They were born into this problem and still carried on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say religion poisons everything. Something that you had no business, but because of where you are born, you have now taken on a fight that people that have come before you are fighting. Now you, no. It is the troubles indeed.
So, where did this all start? Well, at first, everybody was Catholic.
See?
However, in the
See, guys, everyone was Catholic. That's everyone was Catholic.
the 1500s, during the Protestant Reformation of England, Ireland, unlike Great Britain, remained predominantly Catholic. In the
Yeah.
meantime, Great Britain began to industrialize. They realized that Ireland was very resource rich and that maybe they could benefit from it. As a result, in the 1700s through 1800s, many Protestants migrated to northeastern Ireland
There we
to
go.
gain
Oh.
economic and political power. They
Hmm.
treated the Irish Catholic minority harshly, oppressing them. It was in 1801 that Ireland officially became part of Great Britain. However, in 1949, after multiple rebellions and legal
Yeah.
acts, Ireland, a Catholic majority, gained its
What year?
independence from Great Britain.
You want to say something?
What year did she say the
18, not sure. 1881? Wait, I take it back.
1881?
Hang on.
It was in
Okay.
1801 that Ireland
1801.
officially
1801.
became part of Great Britain. However,
Ah.
in 1949, after multiple rebellions and legal acts,
See
Ireland,
what's
a
going on
Catholic
long
majority,
before.
gained its independence from Great Britain, declaring itself as the Republic of Ireland. However, there was an exception to this. Northern Ireland, a Protestant majority, remained part of Great Britain. This is the major root of this conflict, explaining why it exists in the first place. On October 5th, 1968, Irish Catholics in Northern Ireland, inspired by civil rights movements in the US, started a local civil rights movement later known as the Troubles. This turned into the most
Wait,
violent
wait.
manifestation of
How
this
did we-
conflict,
How did we
practically
wait, wait,
becoming
wait,
a
wait,
civil
wait.
war.
How did the US get into this mix now? Huh?
They're saying because of the civil rights fight in the US at the same time, it inspired them to take up arms and fight against this civil rights violation
Okay.
of the Catholics in
Phil,
Ireland.
I love the people from the US, right? I love those people. But at some point they need to admit that they never mind their own business.
But
They're always in other people's businesses.
Yeah, they are. But in this case, that's not what she's saying. She's saying because these saw what was happening in the United States with civil rights movement and fight, it inspired these to take up. It's like the Haitian Revolution. The Haitian Revolution occurred around the time when France, they were talking about the French Revolution, and we were talking about liberty, justice. There was three things: liberty, justice, and something else, unity. And that inspired the Haitian Revolution, the Toussaint, to do the
Okay.
same. Yeah, that's what she's basically saying. Not that the Americans put their hand in this one.
They
Yeah, the
didn't.
Americans definitely they didn't.
Hang on.
It's just that they were
Phil.
inspired.
They were
You can
inspired.
carry it
No,
back.
hang on. Wait. I'll take it back. No, what am I doing?
Right there.
Yeah, okay. Let's hear what she says.
In Northern Ireland, inspired by civil rights movements in the US, started a local civil rights movement later known as the Troubles. This turned into the most violent manifestation of this conflict, practically becoming a civil war. The IRA, or the Irish Republican Army, was and still is often considered a terrorist group that absolutely hated the British Protestants in Northern Ireland. In this map, we can see where of Northern Ireland is Protestant and where is Catholic. This map shows us where the Troubles hit most. When we combine the two maps, we can see that most deaths occurred where many Protestants and Catholics coincide, which makes sense. Notably, Belfast has experienced the worst of this conflict. However, the future hopes for improvement. In 1998, the Good Friday Agreement, also known as the Belfast Agreement, was put into place. British soldiers left Northern Ireland, and the IRA is less of a terrorist group today than it used to be. But many problems still remain that many people are working to fix.
Okay, problems remain. Also, Steve McRae manager says that Phil is right. Okay. Right.
Mhm.
Got another video here, a short video. Right.
Robbie Norton is an Irish league player with two passions in life: football and faith. He's one of a new generation of believers, but the 23-year-old doesn't call himself religious.
For people like me that have that more personal faith, there's no real box to tick. You know, if you say you're religious, you could probably bet your bottom dollar that the next question is going to be, are you Protestant or are you Catholic?
Oh.
And that's happened to me in the football changing room a number of times. And my answer to that would be, I'm neither. You know, I'm a follower of Jesus.
In a place synonymous with religion, it's a
Religious. She sound bright.
He's a follower of Jesus.
Yes, wow. Both will claim
He's
to be
neither Catholic nor is he Protestant, but he's a follower of
Protestant.
Jesus.
So
I guess
he's saying that none of them are followers of Jesus, right?
No.
Based on that statement.
No, but Phil, after
Mhm.
all the troubles, when I say troubles, I mean troubles in court.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way to go. Just don't identify with any. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because don't forget, I'm an atheist, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could easily go there and tell them, listen, you're better off just being atheist. Come on. But I can't do that.
Right.
It's not my place to do that.
Nope.
So maybe this is the way forward for these people. I wouldn't know. Maybe this is the younger generation is saying, okay, you know what? Yeah, you've had these troubles. How about
but
we
he's
don't
not
identify with any?
with them. Yeah.
Guys, what do you think? What do you guys think? Hey, look out for number one. Look out for number one. You would know a lot about this Irish troubles. You would know a lot about this. You just turn up, I know, look out for number one. Oh, you would know a lot about this. Anyway, let's carry on. So, he identifies as a follower of Jesus. Well, I don't know who the Catholics are following. I don't know who the Protestants are following. But he's a follower of Jesus. He's neither of the two, but he's a follower of Jesus. Phil, you want to follow Jesus too?
Which Jesus. Which Jesus.
You want to follow this? You want to follow the scapegoat?
No,
You want to follow?
I don't need a scapegoat.
You don't want to follow the blood sacrifice?
Oh my gosh, that will create a fainting. I give in enough blood, so I don't need a sacrifice.
Okay.
I give enough blood for tests, so I don't need that.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
All right.
That's wearing off. The number identifying as non-religious has doubled in a decade to 27%. Mary Lou McShane is the humanist chaplain at Queen's University Belfast and a celebrant at non-religious ceremonies. She says the Good Friday Agreement changed attitudes.
We've been much more liberal about identity in some senses. You know, we carry this very strong identity on one side and this liberal attitude towards it on the other. I can identify as Irish, Northern Irish, British, Ulster, whatever I want to identify as. And that gives me a certain freedom about how I express myself to other people.
Fitzroy Presbyterian is famed for crossing religious barriers. The Reverend Steve Stockman finds sermons in rock music lyrics and believes many are searching beyond the church.
We have some questions to ask as the church. I'm not sure that Jesus' PR has been very good since maybe the 2nd or 3rd century, and there's lots of stuff on in the news that would suggest that the church isn't a particularly great place to go. And maybe when you get rid of religion as some sort of monolithic.
Did she say get rid of religion?
Religion as some sort of.
She's singing my song. Did she just say get rid of religion?
Get rid of religion as some sort of monolithic.
No, but
not
Phil,
get rid
she
of
said,
religion.
she said get rid of religion. Did she not?
Yeah, but in the context of as some monolithic thing, not necessarily to get rid
Phil,
of
I'm not
religion
listening to that other bit. I am listening. The woman said
let's not
get rid of
misreport her.
religion.
Come on.
Oh,
You can't
okay,
misreport what she's
all
saying.
right.
Or
out for
we'd be
number
like the
one. Was that a
apologist, like
she?
Rhea Comfort.
Yeah, she's a she. I think she's a she. Yeah.
Wall, you can start asking the spiritual questions.
What spiritual question?
For generations, religion has influenced politics here. So if there's a move...
Wait, hang on. Say that again. You say what? For how many years?
What she
Oh, you want to take it back? Let's see.
But what she said, something
right,
about some
let's
spiritual something.
Okay, let's listen.
Sort of monolithic wall. You can start asking the spiritual questions.
No,
She didn't say the spiritual questions.
Religion as some sort of monolithic wall. You can start asking the spiritual questions.
Spiritual questions.
Yeah, but what spiritual questions?
Religion has influenced
Phil,
politics.
hang on. I need to listen to what this man just said.
For generations, religion has influenced politics here. So if there's a move away from religion, either to secularism or to the kind of personal faith Robbie talks about, then it could be a political game changer. That could affect the outcome of the next...
Guys, few words nicely said.
But question.
Religion has impacted on politics. Politics and religion in this region here. So a lot of this it's hard to separate politics and religion. And where do you begin separating those two things here?
See, that's where the person don't identify for particular.
No, but he mentioned something. He said secularism.
Right, he says secularism. Or what the person said they don't identify as neither of the two. The two. But secularism would be much better because then religion will not.
I do recognize that it is not as easy.
Correct.
As A, B, and C.
Correct.
This is something that has run. Exactly. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to just go away.
That's why you got to continue promoting secularism and humanism.
Okay.
Political battle here. The 2022 Stormont election. For people of all faiths and none, it's no longer about an allegiance to religion. David Blevins, Sky News, in Lurgan.
Peggy 18.
Okay. So one last video and we'll be done from here. Okay. So these troubles. What are these troubles? Gentleman is going to explain to us what. Let's see. Let me take this. 1 second. Okay. So what are these troubles? I'm going to put him on 1.25. Right.
The period of conflict, usually from about 1969 to the late 90s, early 2000s. It was conflict in and around Northern Ireland. And it was all about who should both run Northern Ireland and who should Northern Ireland belong to. Generally, broadly speaking, the nationalist Republican side is wanting, firstly, a free and independent Ireland of British rule, and then a united Ireland. Its members are broadly, though not exclusively, Catholic. The loyalist unionist community, they owe their...
Okay, sorry guys, had to do that. So see the intertwining of religion and politics. You see it? So the majority want a free and united Ireland, but they're mainly Catholic.
Yeah.
So what exactly is it? It's there's no separation. They're all intertwined.
Yeah.
Right, Phil?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exclusively,
and
the loyalist unionist community, they owe their heritage to the 17th century when Protestant settlers came, particularly from Scotland, and what they want is to retain this strong link with the United Kingdom. The crucial thing to understand is that within each of those camps, you have a myriad of different groups, all with different ideas, not just as to how best to achieve this, but what's the most important thing to achieve. That's why you have multiple political parties representing both of those camps. And I think that's the crucial thing to remember. We talk about sides. This side wanted that, the other side wanted the other. That's really important. And saying two sides kind of masks the reality of many of the competing issues.
But you see what basically is happening with what the Roman Catholics are doing in the Northern Ireland.
What's that?
Produce babies to get a larger majority. Producing babies.
Is that the way forward?
That
Let's
could be a
just
strategy.
more
That's
babies.
a strategy. You get more Catholics there, then their voice will be louder. They're hoping. I don't know. I'm just saying. It looks like some strategy that they're trying to pull.
Okay. It might just be a strategy.
Yeah.
But is it a good strategy though?
Nope.
Is it a
Not
good
a good strategy?
Going forward.
I hope the young ones that come up.
I'm Catholic.
I hope the young ones wake up and
Protestant.
decide they're not, and just pull away from both groups.
You know how I feel about religion, so let's not even.
Yeah, you know. And how I feel about religion.
So when I hear that, there are more Catholics than there are Protestants. Okay, thank you. Thanks for the information, but it doesn't make me happy. Because it's the religion that has brought this division to begin with. At some point, people need to say, you know what? Wait. You identify with Jesus, right? You Catholics. And you Protestant identify with Jesus. What exactly is Jesus doing watching us all fight each other? Can't you people see it? That your Jesus is shit.
Yeah.
Your Jesus, same religion, Christianity. Never mind those people that tell you that Catholics are not Christians. Just please never mind those people. They've got no clue what they're talking about. They're all from the same one religion. This is just two of the thousands.
Yeah,
Christianity has thousands of these denominations. There's many. And your Jesus, he just sits there and watches you all fight each other. How do you want me to worship your Jesus? How do you want me to think that your Jesus came to come and save me? He hasn't saved you guys. He's watching you guys die just needlessly. Yeah. And you think I want any of Jesus? Please no. Keep your Jesus. No thanks. Look out for number one. What did you say? You don't believe me? What did it say? You don't believe me? You don't believe me? What don't you believe? What don't you believe? There are more denominations than words in the Bible. There are more denominations than words in the Bible. Oh my.
Oh gosh.
Okay, look out for number one. Was joking. You look out for number one. You know I will come and get you. You're not far away from me. I'll come and look for you. Giza, I'll come and find you. No, don't don't talk smack in here. I'll come and look for you. Eh.
That is built on identity and historical memory as much as anything. Take the year 1916 to the Unionist and Loyalist community. That's the year that the Ulster Division made its sacrifices at the Battle of the Somme. To the Republican nationalist communities, 1916 is the year
the real
of the
geezer.
rising of the attempt to throw off British rule.
No,
Same year,
no.
people perhaps
Jesus is the real geezer. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Look out for number one. Jesus is the real geezer.
Oh boy.
Because it's Jesus was causing these troubles here. It's a Jesus religion. He's no, but seriously, guys, you need to understand this. I am not originally from the UK, right?
Mm-hmm.
I immigrated to the UK, right? And I'm now nationalized as UK person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I come from a place that was colonized by this country. And they brought with them a sect of that religion, the same religion that is causing trouble. That religion is causing trouble for you lot there. And you come with the same religion and tell the people over in Africa, look, you've got to take this. Our Jesus would save you. Get rid of everything. Your Jesus hasn't saved you yet. He's watched you all fight, and now you bring that to what did they expect will happen with Christianity over in Africa? Well, no. What did you think will happen? You bring it and then dump it in the hands of clueless Africans and say, here, take. And now go look at the mess of the thing they call Christianity. Go have a look. Everyone now has, I can easily have my own denomination of Christianity. Just go over there. Look, I've got a picture. Someone's, listen, let me find you this picture. Wait. There's this picture I saw the other day. Gosh. Honestly, I can't. I can't do Christianity anymore. Christianity has become, I don't know. Just 1 second, guys. This picture I need to show you all. Once I can find it. Yes, I find it. It's coming. No. I'll find it in a second. And some of you might be interested. Yes, I have found it. All right. Should we? How do I make this bigger? Okay. Right. Let me share. Stop sharing this. Go here. So some of you might be interested. Right. It's a church for sale. Right?
Yeah.
So the church. Right,
what?
Okay. It's a church. Oh, I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see the picture.
Yeah, you can see picture. That's
See it?
in there.
Okay. So it's a church for sale. It's clearly not finished. Right?
38 million.
So it's 38 million naira, I think.
Naira. Oh,
Yes.
negotiable.
38 million naira negotiable.
How much is
It's
38
got
million
400
naira?
and it's got 450 active members. Sunday offerings are approximately 350,000 per mass, per each service, per each session. Monthly tithe, 5 million naira on average. Reasons for sale. Just hang on now. Reasons for sale. The pastor is going to America.
Ooh.
So who's
Ooh.
interested in buying? Look out for number one. Come on. You're a rich man. You buy? You want to buy? No, but this is a state of Christianity. It's now for sale. Now we're selling the members in the church.
They're selling to go to the United States to grift, make a bigger grift.
No. The Americans, listen, they have their own grifters there.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, this pastor going to cash in on some of the grifting going on over there.
But Phil, you remember, Paula White was asking for the African angels
to come over.
to come.
Yeah.
So maybe this is just answer to her prayers.
The prayers, yeah.
Just get the pastors to go and join the other grifters over there, which is good.
I was just going to give the because some people will know the conversion with the Nigerian naira and into pounds or US dollars. So to give them an idea, 38 million naira sounds like a lot. Yeah, it's kind of. But
how much is 38 million naira?
In pounds is about almost 70,000 pounds.
70,000 pounds. So, how many years would it take you to get your money back?
I don't know.
If you buy this
on the grip. But remember, they have $1 million per service. It is how many? 3 million per service.
Yes.
So 3 million naira in dollars is 6,760 US dollars per service. That's a lot of money still per service.
So in 5 years you can make your money
monthly
back?
On their ties. Oh, I thought it was 3 million. It's 5 million per month on ties. So 5 million is that can't be right.
Look out for those.
Is that? It's 11,000. Yes.
11,000 what?
11,266 US dollars per month in ties. What?
$11,000 in ties?
Yes.
Wait, hang on. You're telling me that this structure here can produce $11,000 every month? This
what?
Okay. Guys, how many of you, who's going to loan me some money? Who's going to loan me 38 million naira? Please. Somebody help.
I don't know.
Help. No, Phil. I'm sure you have some money. You're sitting somewhere that you haven't. Come on, Phil.
Nah. But
okay, I know who's gonna give me the money. Beach is rich. Beach is one rich lady. Someone told me. A birdie whispered in my ears and said she's a multi-millionaire.
I see.
She's close pals with Elon Musk. That's Beach. Beach, come on. I need a loan. Come on, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Satan hello says, if Jesus saves, why does he always need money? That's a good question, eh? Look out for number one says, but remember you have to have a big tongue. Look out for number one. 2 years, almost 2 years I've been doing this here. And I haven't made any millions. How much am I don't make any money from doing this. So please, somebody give me a loan, please.
They have 450 members, right?
Yes.
So on average per month, each member is given 25 US. They're taking 25 US per month from each member.
Right.
Which is still for those poor people. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Look.
Oh, I can't believe this is not right.
Steve McRae, manager, can you just get your hands off Beach? Just stop. Talk about he gives great back
This
rubs.
is
What's wrong
right.
with you? I'm trying to pitch something here. Stop with the back rubs. Beach, never mind. I give great
Wow.
back rubs too. Listen, my hands are good.
So,
I'll give you back rubs for the loan. I need to buy me a
uh,
church. Come on.
as how much? I was going to ask you if you know the average wage of the persons in Nigeria, because that 25
Phil,
US is
Phil,
11,124 nairas.
Phil, jokes apart now. Just 1 second. Let me show you something. All jokes apart. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we're joking and all, but it's not funny. Um, Give me 1 second. Right. Okay. So here we go. I'm just going to stop sharing this and share. Share this here. It says Nigeria will have to dig deep to overcome entrenched patterns of poverty. Right. So India has just recently overtaken Nigeria as the country with the largest number of people living in extreme poverty. Nigeria was on that list for about 4 years. It was India. Then Nigeria took over, and Nigeria sat there for about 3 years. But now it's India. It's just been those two countries have been, and it's the largest number of people living in extreme poverty. It is estimated that almost half of Nigeria's population of about 200 million lives below the threshold of $1.90. That's about 792 naira daily. Nigeria accounts for about 14% of the world's poor.
Wow.
The African continent as a whole accounts for about 2/3 of the world's poor, and the figure is projected to rise. Now, guys, now just have a look at these figures, okay? It's telling you that it's estimated that almost half of Nigeria's population, about 200 million. Nigeria's population is about 200 and something million. It's grown now. But almost half of that population are living below the poverty line, right? So another interesting thing to note, just 1 second, I show you this. Sorry, Phil, you want to say?
Yeah. How much is the okay? According to what I see here in Google, something doctor.com, they said the Nigeria has an average monthly salary of 339. Let's say 340,000 Nigerian naira per month. That's about 775 US dollars per month, as per exchange rates in October 2022. Right now, if each person is given 25 US, right? If each person is given 25 US, all right, 10%, 10%, this toys they will claim is 10%. So 10% of that is 10% of that 340,000 is 34,000. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which means they should really be given 76 US dollars
Every
month of his monthly salary. Yeah.
So, okay, so you saw those figures. Now,
Yeah.
this is the next thing you need to see. The richest pastors in Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The richest pastors in Africa as a whole. So these are the top 11, right? So, and I'll just quick run through to show you which ones are Nigerians. Okay, so we can easily ask the question: does the Jesus industry and poverty, do they have some sort of is there a correlation between the Jesus industry and poverty? Because the trend which you find is the more the Jesus industry grows, the poorer the people become. But it's funny how the pastors, they become richer. Okay, let's have a quick run through. So the top man himself, what's his name? David Oyedepo, he is on the top. Living Faith Church Worldwide, nationality Nigeria. Net worth, he's about 150 million. He denies this figure. He says he's insulted by this number. You all got it wrong. He's worth more. So he's Nigerian. Number 2, Prophet Bushiri. Bushiri is from Malawi.
And those the figures there are in US dollars, right?
US dollars, yes. Adeboye is worth.
Oh, this is
actually
Nigeria.
Hang on. This let me check what year this was. This doesn't look like it's recent. 1 second. What year was this?
January
2022.
2022.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So that's David and Bushiri. Then the next one is Adeboye, the humble thief. I call him a humble thief. So he's worth 130 million, and of course, he's from Nigeria. The next one, Ayo Orishe Jafford. This one has been in the news in the last 2 days. Him and his wife are getting divorced. Turns out his wife has been. They say she's had a boyfriend for the last 10 years. So anyway, sorry, Phil.
Sorry, he is making way more money than the average. Way more.
Who?
In Nigerian naira. Obade.
Oh, Adeboye?
Adobe.
Oyedepo?
The one from Nigeria.
The first one.
That pastor. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, his 150 million.
No. He says he's worth more.
But yeah, but they had their 150. That is used as the base. Even maybe worth more, right? That is like, this is trillion, 66 trillion 747. Yes, 66 trillion billion 745 million 500,000 Nigerian naira he's making in a year.
Oh my God, Phil.
You see how these guys.
Phil, just let's take a quick run through.
So
number four, Ayo Orishe Jafford, 120 million. He's Nigerian too. Pastor Chris Yakilome, this one, this particular man, I've got family members here. So, Chris Yakilome, $50 million. Of course, he's Nigerian. How many Nigerians have we counted now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Counted 4 Nigerians out of 5. Okay. The next one is Hubert Angel. He's from Zimbabwe. He's worth how many? $50 million. The next one is Shifinwa Irene. I don't know who that is, but she's from Zimbabwe. 42 million she's worth. Pastor Ray Macaulay, he's South Africa, $29 million. Prophet TB Joshua, that's number 5, worth $15 million. Number 10, Pastor Simolowo, that's 6. He's worth $10 million. Alf Lukau, number 11, he is worth, I don't know how much that one's worth. What? $1 billion? Did they say one? Phil,
$1 billion? Where?
It says $1
Yes.
billion.
Yes.
$1 billion.
South Africa. Yes. 1 billion. So, oh my gosh.
I don't think they. I'm sure they meant to say 1
Net
million.
worth.
No, it can't be.
It
It can't
can't
be.
be. Does he have all
Wait,
over?
listen. It
Yes,
says
he
here
is.
he is estimated to be worth
Yeah.
over
Over
1
1
billion as at
billion as
2019.
2019.
Okay, so how come 6 of them out of 11 are
Nigerian.
they're all Nigerians?
Mm.
But you saw the figures says that Nigeria, it's estimated that almost half of Nigeria's population lives below the threshold. Nigeria accounts for 14% of the entire world's poor people. Nigeria alone. But Nigeria has the richest Jesus representatives here on earth. Somebody has to explain it to me. How does that make sense to anybody? And because someone would come and say, "But hang on, I thought we were talking about Northern Ireland. How did we get to Africa?" Yes, they're all they're all related. It's the same
Wow.
people that brought this Jesus religion over there. The Jesus religion that was causing them all those troubles that they still haven't solved till today. They brought it over there, and look what's happening. Anywhere you bring Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
anywhere you bring Jesus, you bring confusion. Anywhere you bring Jesus, you bring poverty.
Yeah.
Anywhere you bring Jesus, you bring. Even Jesus said it himself. Jesus said, "I've not come to bring peace. I'm not for that
Mm-mm.
crap." Yeah, Jesus said it. He said, "I'm not there for peace." What was Jesus' words? Wait, let's go see. What did
He
Jesus say he
bring
came for?
a sword
Yeah.
to divide
That's what Jesus said.
families, to divide families.
He said, "No, I didn't come for peace. I came for war." Yes.
That's what was the name of the pastor again?
Which one?
But
Oyedebo. Which one? The very first
Ayo
one.
Debo, Ayo
Which one? Adeboye.
Deb, Adoboye. Yeah.
There's Oyedepo and there's Adeboye.
Oh, the one that's worth 150 million US.
That's Oyedepo.
Ayo Debo. Yeah.
No.
Huh?
Oyedepo.
Oyo Debo.
Oyedepo.
Oh, Oye Debo.
Yes, there you
Oye
go.
Debo.
Oyedepo. Listen, let me type it in the
Okay.
chat. Jesus,
Yeah.
before you twist your tongue here. My goodness.
And you know how much he's worth per month in US?
He'll break my heart.
12 million 500. And people starving in Nigeria and living below the poverty line. And he's making worth 12 million 500. 530. That's the closer figure. Million per month. US. These guys are grifters, major. And how the people giving money away like that? It's just, it's crazy.
It's carrying cooking. I can hear the clang clanging in there.
No, I think she's getting dinner. She just came in.
She's getting dinner ready. Oh,
No, I already ate
someone
for
is being
herself.
looked after.
No, I know I already had dinner.
Wifey
Making her
is
own
cooking.
dinner. Yeah, she's making her own dinner.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Why you
it's
didn't
crazy.
make dinner for her?
No, because right.
All right,
I
that's
will
right.
tell you what.
It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to say anything. All right, so let's see. What did Jesus say? Jesus said his disciples, ministry of the 12. Oh, God. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the leper, drive out the demons. Freely you have been given, freely. Freely give. That's Jesus talking. Freely you've been given. You should give freely. How about Jesus? You give freely too. Stop asking people for their money. Right. Where did he say? Let me see. Where was Jesus's words that says he hasn't come? Do not come again. God, listen. So sometimes when I go back and look at Jesus's words, it sickens me. Verse 28. Do not be afraid of those who kill the body, or cannot kill the soul. Instead, fear the one that can destroy both your soul and your body in hell. That's Jesus.
This is Matthew.
I don't even know what I'm reading. Yeah, Matthew chapter 10.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Jesus standing there and telling the people, I love you so much. I love you so much. I came to die for you, but be afraid of the one up there that can kill you. It will destroy both your body and your... If someone is saying that to me, I would just excuse myself from that arena. I would not let you finish the rest of your sentence. Huh? The character of Jesus was a real bumbleclat. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen.
Jamaican man.
Listen to Jesus. Jesus says, therefore, anyone who confesses me before men, I will also confess him before my Father in heaven. But whoever denies me before men, I will also deny him before my Father. So, Jesus is here just watching. Who's talking about me? Phil's just talked about me. Daddy, come here. Come and see Phil. He's talking about me, Daddy. He's saying something about me. And Daddy's like, he is? Yes, he is, Daddy. And then he stops. He looks again. Oh, so look out for number one. He's not talking about me. Daddy, come. Look out for number one. He's not talking about me. And Daddy's like, he's not? No, he isn't.
Oh my God.
I mean, listen to this crap here.
So crappy. Yeah.
This is like child's play. Like small children. If you do this for me, I'll tell my daddy. Oh, just can you imagine? If you talk about me, I tell my daddy. Don't talk about me, I don't tell my daddy. What's wrong with this person? Look up for number one and don't include you. Okay, let's get to the best part. So Jesus says, do not assume. So in case you were assuming, stop with the assumptions. Don't assume that I came to bring peace to the earth. That's not my goal here. I have not come to bring peace.
Peace, yeah.
But a sword. For I have come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies will be the members of his own household. Anyone who loves his... look at this. Guys, this is Jesus's words now. They're in red. Anyone who loves his father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. No. Did I hear some people say that the Muslims love Muhammad more than their father and mother? And look at, what are we doing? Look at Jesus. Jesus is saying, anyone, if you love your father and mother more than him, you're not worthy of him. No wonder Jesus's daddy can tell Abraham, go and sacrifice your son. Your child, your father, your mother. None of these people should be more important than your maker, your God.
Maker, yeah. That's what it's trying to say.
It says, anyone who does not take up his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds his life, will lose it. And whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. So Jesus wants you to lose your life for him.
For his sake. That's why the Christians cry persecution complex. That contributes to the persecution complex that Christians love to always appeal to when you push back against the nonsense.
You know what?
Oh, yeah, inferiority complex. Number one, look out for number one. Says inferiority complex.
Yes, maybe he has a small. Can you imagine this clown?
Inferiority complex.
Can you imagine this clown called Jesus? Talking about, you talk about me, I tell my daddy.
Yeah.
You don't talk about me, I don't tell my daddy. What is wrong with you? Are you mad? Jesus is mad. He's crazy. No, look at this. Therefore, anyone who confesses me before men, I will also confess before my Father in heaven. No wonder Jesus is taking forever up there. He's busy confessing people. That's it. That must be it. Whoever denies me before men, I will also deny before men. Guys, sorry, but Christianity could never be an option. Just never. I mean, when you think about me being an atheist, right? I think I consider myself an agnostic atheist, right? So if there is a God somewhere, whatever, there is a God somewhere. But so far, so good. There's been no proof of that God.
Correct.
But you see this particular one, this one here. If this one is proven to exist, this Jesus' daddy, well, he's also Jesus himself anyway. So if they're proven to exist, I hereby declare I will never worship it, him, she, whatever they identify as. I couldn't do it. Look at this. Like a bunch of babies.
Oh, yeah. That's why I keep saying that God has an inferiority complex.
Small p.
And small p, yeah. And he always needs somebody to stroke his ego and his son ego. So although then Christians will say that Jesus is God too. So let's group them all together. God, the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit, according to them, has an inferiority complex and have to have their ego, their ego stroke.
So Ray Comfort and Ken Ham that are coming here to come and confess Jesus. That's what they want. They want Jesus to confess them before God, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's
so
why
they don't be denied.
They don't be denied in front of Yahweh.
Of Yahweh, yeah.
Okay. It's fine. I wish them all the best. It couldn't be me. So guys, I think we've had a little look at the goings on in Northern Ireland. It's heartbreaking. Just watching all of that, reading the things that I read about Northern Ireland, and that it's still a problem to this day. It's heartbreaking, and I'm hoping that there's resolve at some point. Maybe not in my lifetime. I'm not optimistic about that, but hopefully, the lady said about a more secular world. In my opinion, that's the only way to go. Religion has only created more problems. It would not solve anything, because religion creates division. Sorry, Phil, you want to say something?
Yeah, one last thing. Just a question. Did Rare Comfort and then plan this thing after hearing the survey that the
Survey just
numbers of
came out.
Christians?
The survey
Oh,
just came
okay.
out 2
This come
weeks
out
ago.
after they decide. Okay.
The
All
survey just came out
right.
2 weeks ago.
Okay. Right.
But you
Them
know,
look motivate them.
analysis. You know, there's this analytical people.
Yeah.
There was already
Mhm.
talks that it's possible that there are more non-religious people. That
Non-religious.
talk was
Yeah.
already going on.
Right.
So based on the analysis before the
actual
census,
census came out. Yeah.
so who knows? You
Yeah,
might have
maybe
accessed that.
that or that now would give them now they hear that motivation to try to come to convert. Gosh,
You know,
that's how
the
Christians
UK.
operate, you know.
The UK is a lovely country. I live here, so I couldn't say anything. I have no bad words to say about the UK.
Right.
Can't. It's been absolutely amazing, right? But they have an ugly past.
Yeah.
However, they try to clean it up and to brush it with a clean brush. They have cobwebs. They have things there that still haunt them till this day. Prince Charles, he is rich, very rich, but
oh yeah, but off.
Where's the wealth? That wealth that he
Came
had from where?
Yeah.
It's I don't know, guys. This religion, Catholics and Protestants, you all are supposed to be serving the same God. Just feel, has it ever clicked to these people? Oh, but how are you serving Christ and reading the same Bible, and I'm reading the same Bible? When are these people going to ask themselves this? I don't understand
Something
it.
just ain't coming or adding up. How is it? And y'all coming different, and they're coming different conclusions. But then you know the apologetics is, oh, they are not listening to the Spirit of God. And the others will accuse the other group of not listening to the Spirit of God. So how do you determine that you all both are listening to any Spirit of God? Or any spirit? Can you demonstrate that spirit exists?
How do you hear?
It's confusion.
How do you hear the spirits, please?
I don't know. They will say, I've had this when I was a Christian and they asked that question. I was told, oh, it's a still small voice.
That's the
peaceful voice,
trick.
really.
That's the trick right there.
That's the trick.
Still small voice.
Voice. What? Still small voice.
A still small voice. What? You know, I tell you, we need to come and do that stream. I keep saying we'll do the ridiculous things that Christians say. And that needs to be one of them. That still small voice. What is this you're talking about? Yikes, I'm about to drop everything. What's still small voice? What's this thing you call a still small voice?
I put in your still small voice. Yeah. And you will know, you will learn the voice of the Holy Spirit.
So how would you know when that still small voice is talking to you?
Yeah. I sure a still small voice tells some people do some really wicked things. I sure a still small voice told those people do some wicked things. And based on the Bible, right? Let me I now putting on my Christian collar, right? Pretend now we are talking about Bible. When you look at the Bible, God spoke in thunder in the Old Testament too, and with a loud voice. Then Jesus going to the temple, keeping noise and running the Thing changers.
We say keeping noise.
So how could it be God?
A still small voice
God
now.
is not still and small.
Huh?
Especially when he thinks somebody is committing some act against him, not following his dictates. So it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
And I remember when God spoke to Moses, the people shuddered, got scared, and they said, "Moses, you go up. We can't deal with this." So when they come with that doesn't even follow their scriptures. Doesn't even follow the scriptures.
Phil, they say you're preaching hate. Someone said to me that I have developed a community of hate towards Christians.
No, it's towards the Christian doctrine.
Okay.
And religion, the Christian doctrine. But you see, the problem is Christians identify their beliefs, they make that as part of their identity. So once you attack their beliefs, they feel that you're attacking them.
But
which
Phil,
is so sad.
How can I be developing a community of hate when Jesus, he's the hate master himself?
Oh yes.
Jesus is saying he's coming to divide you all. He's coming with a sword. Only someone who hates you can come with a sword.
I remember God says he hate the those who commit iniquity. Psalms.
Remember God said, if you remember that scripture, Esau have I loved. No, I hate Esau and I love Jacob.
Yes.
See if I remember.
Yeah.
Esau and who else again?
He hate Esau and he loved Jacob.
Jacob and Esau, right?
Jacob I love, but Esau
I hated. And you'd come and tell me that please.
and then God repented. So I think we gotta do an actual show on God's emotions. God's emotions. Yeah.
He's got very fickle emotions.
Yeah. God's fickle emotions.
Steve McRae says those are her agnostic crickets, Phil. They're spying on you. I bet God wears tighty whites and has
yeah, his dick is squeezed very tight by those tighties. Yeah. Definitely. Because the way he gets on, oh my gosh, it's squealing. Oh yeah, oh look at what they're doing. Definitely, I tell you. And if they want to lock me up for blasphemy, lock me up because it's ridiculous. I just fed up with the crap. Christians just want to get on with and support the God. I don't hate Christians. I hate their religion and their doctrine, and that's still the same. I hate their doctrine and religion.
I bet God is busy showing off his bits.
And if you God, that God is real, show yourself now. We on internet. You should be able to show yourself and show who you are.
Phil is challenging God.
Yeah, I challenging God. This is live. This is on the internet. This is streaming. If this God is real, he should be able to show himself now.
How do you want him to show himself? I
don't know. He will know that because he's supposed to be all-knowing God.
But you don't have invites to this stream.
Well, he's supposed. Did he have invite to Mary? Or he just invited himself into Mary? All right. He just said.
Phil, all right.
Yes, please.
That Mary subject.
That
Mary subject, that's one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Mary subject is enough to turn people away from Christianity. The subject of Mary. Just no. How you
we need to do a comparison of Mary's subject and Muhammad. And Muhammad's subject, yeah, is Aisha, right?
Ah,
That's the name
Phil,
of
that
his.
one is going to be problematic, eh?
Oh gosh.
Comparing Mary and Aisha.
Oh
Who
gosh.
who is the worst violator?
Yeah.
Muhammad
Yeah.
or
Both.
how are you
I
going
would
to
say
title that
both.
kind of stream?
I don't know yet. Something will pop in.
How will you title that?
I don't know how to title
Who
that.
is the worst molester? I don't know how you're going to do that
God
one.
or I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But it's, things is popping. Ideas. Title.
Satan says, if God is real, may he strike you dead with lightning.
Oh yeah. Now I can tell you, if I go and do this in front of my mom will say,
I
"Look,
won't
God can
challenge God.
strike you down."
I won't challenge God. I'm trying to buy a church. Beach, please.
Maybe we
Where
could
are
buy that
you?
church in Nigeria.
38 million naira. Please, Beach. I hear that you have millions and millions and millions. Or anyone here. Okay, you know what? Beach, I can loan maybe 1/3 from Beach. Then Ian, I've heard that
Yeah.
Ian is rich too. Ian
Ah.
can give us
And
some
what
of
about
the
Steve
Australian
McRae?
dollars.
Steve McRae manager.
Steve McRae.
He will give the other church.
Steve McRae. Right. All right. Come on, Steve McRae. We want to buy a church. Okay, you know what, guys? If you loan me this money, I would drop a contract in 5 years. I would have paid you your money and whatever interest. Okay, so name your price. All right, let me go and buy a church too. God,
And we don't want in Nigeria. We want in US. $1 million
US dollars.
Yeah, that would cover complete. That would cover the cost, the redoing of the yeah.
God never spoke to Christians in
Finishing.
the Bible. There were no
Oh
Christians
yeah,
in the
Paul.
Bible.
Oh no, but Paul got converted. God spoke to Paul, so Paul claims.
You know what? We need to
Like,
look
he's an
at
angel,
we
Lord.
need to
Yeah,
look at Paul. That
yeah,
man, that
yeah.
character.
Oh
He's
yes, that
suspect.
MLM.
Paul is the suspect.
Oh yeah.
How do you
When
go? How do you go from wanting to kill people to uh something appeared to you on how do
yeah,
you go from that to that?
we could probably call it Paul LNN versus Jesus Christ. Boxing gloves, boxing match. Put it in boxing
Okay,
match.
all right, look out for number
Yep.
one. I got ya. Okay, look at I'm going to show you a
Checklist.
video that I
Oh,
made 7 years ago about challenging God if he's real. Oh yes, I need to see that.
yes.
George Carlin, he was awesome, wasn't he? Right. If you have developed a community of hate, why didn't their God come and stop you? He's hate. He is hate himself.
Yeah.
The God figure is hate. Anti-social media, thank you. And social media says 11 millionaires in the chat. Someone needs to listen. If you all, if let me just tell you for real now, for real, if you pay me that money, you'll never see me again. I'll be in the where
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the Mediterranean somewhere, just living it up. Ain't buying no church, buying church.
What Ian said.
Steve, right? All right, Steve McRae.
Ian says, Steve has plenty.
Right, Steve McRae. We need to talk after this, okay? We have to set up a meeting because we need to buy a church. Beach, hey, I'm sure Beach has been thinking about it. Let's see. She was just thinking that the pastor with a church for sale probably built it. But Beach, where else is he going to get this money from?
Of
Beach?
course, where else?
Most of these churches start in the homes, in little shops, in little. As the monies are growing, growing, then they go buy the pastor didn't even he didn't even bother to finish the church. He didn't even bother to finish the church. He's off.
Steve, give us a title for the Jesus versus Paul.
No, this is not the Jesus versus Paul. This is
Jesus versus Paul.
No, this is the battle between Muhammad and God. This one.
Oh,
this is the Mary and Aisha.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
The battle of the supernatural pervs. Perverts.
Yeah. Battle of the supernatural perverts. Yeah. Description.
Anyway, well, God loves you. God loves you all. If you don't remember anything from what I've said today, God loves you. He loves you so much. He loves you so much. But me, I've rejected that love.
And don't forget us. God is a flying space monkey. He's the fallen flying space monkey. Remember the reasoning. Humans are monkeys. And God created humans in his image. God is a monkey. Anyway.
God is a monkey?
Yeah, it's a monkey.
Can we give monkeys a bit of respect, please?
No, he's the fallen. You know, the ones that Satan was the fallen. No, God is the fallen.
Okay, Phil, because you mentioned Satan falling from...
So they claim, yeah, from heaven or fallen.
Right. So Moses wrote the story of creation, right?
Well, according to some Christian sects, or the older Christian sects, we are back to,
okay, so who was up there watching Satan? Who was the person that who witnessed
Satan falling?
So Lucifer was this beautiful angel. He was all these things. Who was the one who was the person? Please, somebody produce a name.
Isaiah.
Huh?
I think it was Isaiah.
Isaiah did what?
Isaiah. I think he's the one
no,
that
Phil.
saw.
No.
Was he? He said Satan fell from heaven, didn't he? Lucifer, sorry. Yeah.
Because he wrote it in the book doesn't mean he witnessed. I want the person who saw it happen. Please. That's who I want. I want the name.
Wow. That's a good question.
Because if you can't produce the one who chances are it didn't happen. Somebody lied. Right, Phil?
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, when we start here, we never want to go. We need to try and end. It's 2 hours and 13 minutes. Jesus Christ. God, I can talk. Gosh. Well, guys, unless it's pay-per-view. What are we paying per-view? Unless it's pay-per-view. There are no confirmed authors. No confirmed authors of the entire book, or which one? Okay, so a ball of light next to a giant black bar of censorship. I want to see God versus Muhammad, except it's illegal to depict either one without blasphemy.
You're in the UK?
One rapes a woman and the other rapes.
Both were children.
What do you mean one rapes a woman and the other one rapes a child? What do you mean?
Both were children.
Look out for number one. You've got your facts wrong, eh? Both were Well,
Her
according to,
children below
I mean, they say
age.
she was the woman. They say she was a young maiden.
Mm-hmm.
Young maiden. I wonder what a young maiden means. It's just sickening. I tell you, sickening. You know, let me tell you, Mary. Mary was engaged. Mary was. She was. Or she was already said to her man, "Look, we will get married." Right? She said this. We. She was not available. She was engaged to be married. Did God not get the memo? Did someone not tell him that Mary was not available? Go find yourself another virgin that isn't engaged to be married. What is wrong with these people? Something is wrong with the whole story. No. You know what? Let's just stop. Just, just stop. Okay, guys.
Wow.
I mean, however you dissect that story, right? However you, okay, let's assume that Mary was an adult woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's assume Mary gave consent, right? Let's just assume. But she was engaged. How do you go from being engaged to telling your God, okay, come and put that baby inside me? What is wrong with you? Something is wrong with Mary then if she agreed to that. You can't be engaged to marry and then be telling these people, come put baby inside me. And not to talk of how old she was. Not to talk of nobody's seeking permission. Okay, where is Joseph in all of this plan? The man who would be the stepdaddy of this baby.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody thought, let's even invite him. Let's ask him what his opinions are. Does he agree with this or not? They didn't even bother with the man. They waited until after they've put the baby in there and he finds
Yeah.
out that she's pregnant. Then they now come and say to the man says, no, I can't do this. You need to go, right? Then they now said, God, and they start scrambling and now go in his dream to go tell him, look, this big the Jesus story is the worst story ever told.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that story
Yes.
didn't think it through properly. They were
Nope.
probably drunk or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, not Parilla time. Hey, Parilla time. Just as we're about to, you did this same thing
Again.
yesterday as we were about to leave. Hello, Jesus got cocks. Joseph got, that is he was the first cockhold. This was it
Yeah.
really got him in the big cock. Can you imagine? Not only did they cockhold, they even made him become the stepdaddy to a baby that didn't belong to you. Can you imagine? How dense can you be?
Yeah.
Every day. Listen, guys, just think about Joseph for 1 second. Just think for 1 second, right? That Joseph, after Jesus was born, he'd be looking at this baby like,
Yeah. Not my son.
this is not mine. I was forced to take on this job. Are you sure Mary didn't cheat? Was that dream for real? No, guys. You know what? Please, guys, everyone. Okay, I'm going to put out a later on. I'll figure this out, and if anyone can help, we need to dramatize. We need to dramatize the thoughts of these people in these stories.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough to just tell us Mary got pregnant and Mary gave birth and what happened in in between. What was going on in their minds? the minds of the people. What was happening? Do you understand? I care about that. It's not enough to just tell me, oh, this A plus B and equals C. No. What
Nope.
were people thinking? What? How can you expect this man to look at this baby, buy him clothes, buy him shoes, buy him, huh? And it's not his baby.
Yeah.
Are you people all right? Because it is God. Ian Davenport, thank you. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. My.
Oh,
It says,
but
I need no. Look out for number one. You have to be there. You're the main geezer. In fact, you can be
yeah.
Jesus. We give you the role of Jesus. No, listen, it's just taking you into the minds of some of the characters in this scripture, into the mind of Joseph. Right? What was Joseph thinking? What was Mary thinking? Right? We're told the story that they just came to Joseph in the dream. I would wake up from that dream and think that was a dream. No, guys, how many of you have had dreams that were so real? And then when you wake up, you're like, whoa, that was a dream. How did Joseph not wake up and think, my goodness, that was a dream? Mary, you got to go. You really have to go. These people are mad.
Mad.
They're all mad.
Mad as a hat.
Nigerians would say, only wants it ballet.
You want it badly?
No, Phil, don't you feel talk?
Sorry.
Don't do it. Just don't bother.
You gotta try.
Only wants it ballet. They're all crazy bunch of idiots. Right, guys, I tell you the story. Someone, B.S. Lewis. Hey, good to see you. Bobo class. No. Was Jesus a watcher while his big man was doing her? No, was Joseph a watcher while his... I'm sure they waited for Joseph to leave or just...
No, maybe they wanted Joseph to watch. No.
It was a miracle, guys. It was a miracle. Miraculous pregnancy. Believe that.
I can
Believe anything. Someone mentioned your name. Big Mike. Hey, Big Mike. No, these people are mad. They're really mad. Beach. Okay, I'll give you my bank details, Beach. Don't forget, I still lean towards a man of God. Not God.
Not God that got Mary pregnant.
That it was a man of
Man,
God.
I was just thinking that it might have been a man and Mary. Okay. So, and Mary says, Jesus is God. Well,
just that story does not work. I'm sorry.
That's just,
Joseph was in the corner of the tent.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Can you just imagine that you... I don't know how this story is supposed to work. It's crazy. Absolutely. And now I see why the Jewish people thought it was bullshit. Why the Jewish people, they look at the whole Jesus, they're like, whatever you guys have there, you can keep that to yourselves. We want nothing to do with that. Because the story don't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense to anybody.
It does not make sense.
Yet, this nonsensical story has created many problems all over the world. Look at Northern Ireland now. Look at religions fighting each other over some bullshit story. one girl came and told you she has baby from a ghost, and thousands of years later, you all are fighting over that guy.
That guy.
Somebody just tell them,
Get the act together.
get act together. No, they can keep fighting. No, me, I'm not even going to bother with them. I think it was a later version with Joseph. Or was it? So she was one of my infidel girls. That Mary is, she's the boss. She's the boss of the infidels. I bet I can imagine when she went to go and see her cousin. What's that name? Elizabeth. I bet she must have said to Elizabeth, problem deal. There's problem. You know that man that I slept with last week? I'm pregnant. And you know they didn't have abortion clinics then, right?
Right.
So
yeah.
Mary, it has happened. No, Elizabeth, it has happened. Elizabeth will say,
blessed is the fruit of thy
Elizabeth
womb.
will say, oh yeah, come, we need to cook up a story.
Together story.
Don't worry. She said, you sure? I just
angels just say angels spoke to you.
Say, I will back you up. I will tell them that your baby was dancing. One baby was dancing. Was it not? Someone's baby was
dancing in the womb. When you step through the door, it's called the Magnificat. So
the two of them, they just, what some women, they when they come together and cook up a story, they'll make you believe anything. So Mary and Elizabeth, as you say, I would not reveal your secret. Your secret is safe with me. I swear on my life. But Mary, listen, she'll say to Mary, when you hit the big time, don't forget me. You know, I'm going to keep your secret, right? But when you make it big, make sure you mention my name. Make sure you put my name in that story. You understand? Mary will say, don't worry. Hey, Mary will now go back. Even Elizabeth, she knows that. Even Elizabeth confirmed it that the Holy Ghost impregnated me. God, these people they lied there. But guys, the chances are these stories didn't even happen at all.
Yeah.
Right, Phil?
Yeah.
I listen.
All made
the story is. I watch a lot of Judge Judy, and Judge Judy usually says, if the story is too good to be true,
then it's not.
It probably is a lie.
Yeah.
So the chances are all of these are just myths.
Yeah.
Ghosts don't impregnate girls.
No.
Ghosts don't. What ghost? What ghost?
What ghost? Yeah.
You saw a ghost? Where? Where did you see him? Where? Him, whatever. Chances are they didn't happen. So this is just someone devising a story to try and control people.
Control. And they know and the suspect thing is where Christianity took passages from the Old Testament, try to make them fit Jesus. And when you go to the Old Testament, you realize the passage ain't even referring to Jesus and does not fit Jesus.
It's ridiculous.
So that raises that suspicion. I mean, that raises that to say this is a false narrative. Put that in court.
Something happened.
Put that in court. You look back and you say, they appeal to the Bible and say, it was prophesied in the Old Testament. But when you look back at stories as used to say that it was prophesied, you realize that story ain't even talking about Jesus and talking about somebody back at that time. And it was not a prophecy.
Big Mike says ignorance is bliss. I beg to differ. It's not.
But no, it's not.
Ignorance is not bliss.
Because it caused serious harm to a lot of persons. But maybe he's being sarcastic.
Probably is. No,
Yeah.
he's been too Nigerianized to know what's up. He knows what's up. Ignorance ain't bliss, man.
Nope.
I wonder if the father and the
Maybe. Very likely.
no, it's not a threesome.
Mm.
It's
It's
not. Can't
not.
be. No,
It can't be.
cannot
I
be.
think it might have been.
Cannot be. I'll tell you why it's not. They're 3-in-1. They're 3-in-1 people. So it's the same person. Sorry, it's one
But
person.
according to the
No
Trinitarian thinking,
according.
is there's 3 persons in one. I don't know how they
No,
get that.
they're all still one.
No, but no.
3 equals
There's also
1.
one.
Still
It
1.
was
1.
no schizophrenia. It's
No,
schizophrenic sort of
it can't
that
be a
was
threesome. It's just that one.
not. Right, but it's the 3 personalities in
No,
one,
no,
which is one person.
no. It doesn't work that way. It's one person. It's God. All 3 equals God.
You know, right? But that's what I'm saying. The split personality, right? The 3 equals 1. That one.
Only in
Oh,
Christianity does 3 equals 1
it's
and 1
one. You
equals
know,
3.
3. Yeah.
Only in Christianity you find
Only
that.
encourage
At least you can give the
in the
Muslims
mainstream.
a bit of credit. They don't have that nonsense
But
there.
don't forget when certain another Christian sect say it cannot be that because that don't make sense. They got
Phil,
run out of town. They got run out of town by the main sect,
Phil,
right?
come
Even
on
though the
now.
other sect will be wrong too about the whole story, but about the thing, but they were making more sense than
Wait,
the ones that come out of the Trinity.
William Lane Craig says that what Genesis and
Yeah,
what
with
mytho
mytho
history.
history. Yeah.
So
He
you
did say that in a video. I saw the video where he said that.
wait.
I can
You're
attest he
telling
did
me
say that.
that William Lane Craig knows that it's a myth.
Yeah, mytho history. Yeah.
So what are we?
I gotta send that video to you. I think I still have that.
Please,
So yeah.
what are we doing here?
That YouTube video.
Okay, I know it's basic. No, of course I know.
Yeah.
Yes. Foursome. Oh Jesus.
Oh God,
Jesus the
Jesus,
Father,
the
the
Father,
Holy
the
Ghost,
Holy Ghost,
and
and
Joseph.
Joseph watched.
But no.
You know.
It was an orgy. It had to be.
Orgy, yeah, orgy. That
If
is
you're
a
going
force,
down that
yeah.
route, it'll have to be an orgy
The
because
orgy.
the heavenly hosts.
Mm.
What do you think they were doing?
Mm. They
If
were
all their
voyeuring. They were
if all
voyeuring.
their folks are involved, you think they were there hiding? They too
No,
would
they
be
were
there.
voyeuring. They were watching
They were watching
voyeuring.
too. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, voyeur.
It's a host of
Yeah.
heaven thing, They were
Yep.
so involved in this poor
Mm-hmm.
lady's violation. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
While her husband to be, can you imagine Joseph watching this woman give birth to this baby and still go ahead, you go and marry her? Ah, no. You know what, guys? It's time for me to go, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's now 2 hours and 33 minutes. It's
Okay,
now
no, we're not doing 3 hours
12:49.
today.
It's 12:49. There. You're
Yes,
one.
Christianity is a late creation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. From everything that we've seen today, you can clearly see that Christianity is a fairly newer religion compared
Religion.
to
Yeah.
others. I mean, I was talking to
And try
someone
to
from
use. Yeah.
India early on today. Christianity is
Mm-hmm.
still learning. They're still babies compared to
Mm-hmm.
other religions. They're still in nappies.
Peace.
Mm.
And Islam too.
Right,
Oh
guys.
boy.
Oh yeah, before we go,
Thank
let's thank
you.
our
it
channel.
funds
Yes, channel. There we go. So thank you all.
members.
If you'd like
Mhm.
to become a channel member, go ahead. Do so. These are the kind of conversation we break it down here. We don't have
Yeah.
time for between those apologetics and be talking nice
Yeah.
here. We have no time
No,
for that.
we deal, but
Break it
we
down
got the
here
gloves
and
on and
put
do it.
the bullshit right back to
Shit
them,
right back. Right.
lying to us.
Line. Yeah. Hey, come
So,
in.
channel numbers. Thank you, everyone. Steve McRae, manager. Real Time. Jerome Lockhart. Udraka the Duo. P. Shani for life. Ian Davenport. Logan Fisher. Dr. Cyrus. Quillicus. Cynthia McDonald. The Caribbean Skeptic Secularist. Swedish Steve.
Steve
And
and Calise.
Colossus 789.
Yes.
Right, guys. You all take care of yourselves and
Thank you.
get rid of that Jesus character. Nobody
Oh
needs
yeah.
that guy. That guy's a clown.
Real
Jesus is a clown.
You're a clown.
Right, guys, everyone, good night. May you all get a loving spanking tonight. Some people are going to be getting a loving spanking. Oh well. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to bed. No loving spanking for me tonight. I'm just gonna go enjoy my bed by myself. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone. And for those of you getting a loving spanking, don't forget, God, He's watching you. God is
on you.
He's watching you. Be careful. All right, guys. Good night.